Okay, here's my three people. According to psychologists, moving broadens perspective and builds resilience, in that one should live in at least 5 states before settling down. Well, in less than 10 years, I moved from Oregon, where hippies were environmentally obsessed, to Arizona, where the weather app just says survive, to finally Iowa, where people drive through blizzards for gas station pizza as if it's normal. So if you ever have romanticized about packing up your life and moving across the country, then this speech should serve both entertainment and as a cautionary tale. Growing up in Oregon, we prided ourselves in diversity and acceptance, but would silently judge you if your chicken wasn't organic and your coffee locally sourced. Bike lanes and community gardens were everywhere, and enough recycling categories that made throwing away your trash feel like a stressful situation. As I grew up, I started to realize that with Oregon's progressive characteristics came intense expectations. Competitive programs required perfect GPAs, volunteer experience, must be bilingual, and probably proof that in your spare time you helped rescue wild animals. Housing was expensive, and regulations were everywhere, and somehow a state that rained 6 months out of the year was illegal to collect rainwater. So after many years of gray skies and vitamin D deficiency, that caused me to look like a Victorian child surviving rickets, Arizona seemed less like a vacation and more like salvation. Moving to Arizona was so exciting at first. There was blue skies everywhere and palm trees. And unlike Oregon, I had 2 jobs almost immediately. But I quickly learned that Arizona isn't just warm, it is actually aggressive in more ways than one. They call it a dry heat, as if that makes 120-degree weather any more accepting. Anything over 108 degrees, you were inside with the AC because the pools felt like bath water, and walking outside felt like you opened up the oven and got smacked in the face with hot air. Arizonians were used to things that I just couldn't get used to, and car, windshield shades, blackout curtains, giant floppy hats, and house shoes were not accessories, they were survival gear. Scorpions were in your house as if they were house spiders, hence the house shoes, because you were never barefoot in your own home. Phoenix was huge. The size of Phoenix alone is the entire state of Iowa, and with that comes daily traffic jams, gated communities for safety, and quickly looking over your shoulder became common. So after years of paying high rent in what felt like an air fryer, Arizona started to lose its charm. So we packed up our bags and we moved to Iowa because apparently my solution to excessive heat is blizzards and tornadoes. When I first arrived at Iowa, I had a huge culture shock. I felt like I stepped in a time machine and went back 20 years. Being from big cities, I couldn't comprehend that there wasn't 2-day Prime shipping or an IKEA, and that stores closed at 9 p.m. and some were closed completely on Sunday, and that little kids walked to school and played outside unattended, and everywhere I went, strangers wanted to talk to me. And where I'm from, we were taught you never talk to strangers. Iowa taught me that how to survive negative 20-degree wind chills and what real winter gear is, and that what a tornado warning is, and when you walk outside, what humidity feels like when you walk outside like you're being licked. screaming cicadas and little black bugs that bite you that you can't see. And that also gas stations surprisingly have really good pizza and chocolate milk. And that my grandpa actually wasn't lying when he was telling his kids that he used to walk 3 miles to school in a blizzard when he lived in Iowa. Iowa also taught me some things and showed my kids some things that I almost forgot. That wild bunnies are real, as well as fireflies, and that there are still quiet neighborhoods that have community values. So over the last 9 years, as I've lived in Iowa, I've started to embrace and accept the simpler life. Affordability, slow living, and realizing that life is not just one big competition. So if you're ever like me and you want to pick up and move, just take my advice. Every single state has their own crazy. You just have to find out which crazy fits you best. Thank you.